everybody, welcome to Parade Handmade. I am about to start on my little guy. I was looking for the poem to go with it online and I haven't found it yet, but I'm going to do this little video over 2 days, not for you but for me, and I can do it from memory and I might write it out and then just, say that it was by Robert Louis Stevenson. There's a little clue. But I'm wondering why it isn't online. But it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to quote him correctly. But the thing is, I'm going to continue with my, have you noticed? I'm wearing my lovely jumper. And it's so cozy and it's just really nice. But I wanted to wear it. I keep saying I'm going to wear my makes and then I don't do it. Because they don't seem to match whatever I'm doing that day. So I haven't done it. And I said, I promised I'd wear my little gloves. My wrist warmers, the steampunk ones this week. But I haven't, I don't know if I finished the first one, I think, and I didn't finish the second one. So I'm just chasing my tail. So I have this one on me today, and it's really cozy. I'd actually like to leave it on, but I have to take it off now because I'm going to do some work on it. So if you're interested in seeing where I'm going to go with this little guy, about the little poem that I'm going to quote, and one of you will know what I'm talking about specifically. And it's just a really cute little connection I think we can make. And it's also given me an idea as to what he's doing. I mean, I know what he's doing, but what he's, for the next little part. And I also want to pay attention to maybe the pile of leaves at the bottom. So I won't record every single second for you, but that's what I'm going to work on today. And in kind of nice, easy, dreamy style, because that's what I need today. And I'm hoping somebody else needs that too. So looking forward to getting into it. I have a meeting in about 50 minutes that I have to squeeze in. So it's hard for me to, get into left brain, get into right brain, back into left brain. But I'm doing it. And I just thought I could do a little bit of the video now, the introduction, etc. And maybe start a little bit of the felting and get things on the move. But this is where he is at the moment. The neck is somehow embellished, the little leaves and the swirls, and he's up there. I'll go a little bit closer. He's up there and he's got a little hat and his little bag on. But now I have an idea as to what he's looking at here. And also I mentioned at the beginning, I would have the leaves floating and falling to a little pile down here somewhere. And I have to decide just yet what to do with that. So that is what I'm going to do, more or less, at least get moving on and get working on. So we'll talk about it as we go along. If you're interested, stick around and like and subscribe. Oh yeah, hi, number 47. Welcome. You're very welcome, number 47. We're really delighted. Subscriber number 47, in case anyone takes offense at being called a number. My little guy. So here he is on the stem of the thistle, or the teasel, as we mentioned before. And I've decided, based on this little poem, and I'm going to insert it here. My Doll's House by Robert Louis Stevenson. I wish there were people as small as a mouse to live like a family in my doll's house, to open the cupboards and walk on the stairs and sit down for supper in these little chairs. They'd have tiny voices, and maybe someday, if I stayed so quiet, I might hear them say, "Isn't this cozy? And weren't we wise to find us a house that's exactly our size?" Yay! He's looking over there in the distance, a little bit like Hansel and Gretel following the breadcrumbs. And maybe a little house and a little light or a little lantern over that direction, far away into the distance. He wants to get home. He's out on a big excursion, on a big adventure, and he's just looking homeward. Now, how that's going to look, I haven't decided. I'll decide that in a second with you, with the help of expressing it to you. So that's my little plan. And then to continue with the leaves on the bottom here and still embellish this a little bit more as we go along. And soon I'll be able to talk about how to clean it and how to, when the time comes to cleaning it, what you might do, etc., etc. But I want to just not rush ahead of myself and just enjoy the process. So keep watching if you're interested in it. That was a really sweet little poem that I learned when I was 6 for a thing that we called a fesh, We call it a feis in Ireland. It's an Irish, it's a competition where all the kids go in and they do their little bit of a poem or Irish dancing or other Irish cultural performances. And then they're judged and it's a little competition and what have you. And I'm not even sure if they still do it these days, but I learned it. There was an option to use that poem or to learn that poem or another one. And this one was shorter and sweeter and cutier. And I thought, I'm going to learn this. And I'm glad I did it because it has never left my mind. I really adore it. So now what I'm going to do is I am picturing this little guy heading home to his house. And I was trying to think, where would a little mouse live? I could make a little doll's house there, literally a little house. Golly, here you go. This is the decision-making process. I could do that. I've decided to make his little house on a bough of a tree that's behind these falling leaves. It is the tree from which the leaves are falling. And I'm going to just do a little bough in there, a little artistic bough, and his little house is going to be on it. And this is where he's looking back to. This is where now I would like if the sponge beneath was wider because it gives you more scope to draw, kind of to design and to move, because you have to keep going under to move that because it's a double layer, it's in a jumper. However, we're not going to worry too much. I want to be able to be going behind here. So I'm just going to not worry about this too much. This is the basis. And so the detail will be the main thing. But it'll be kind of a trunk. So I'm just going to go in and around these, keeping in mind, I can take this apart, you see, you can just take little bits off like that. But it's very forgiving. If you go in wrong, you can just pull it out again. Don't go in too much. Be trickier, you'll be pulling little bits out forever. But if it goes in and you're like, no, I don't really want that there, you can do this for the moment. So I am going to just tease that in and around there. I want to keep my little scrolls there. I love the wispy bits and I can emphasize them more later if I want. Now that's better. Now I feel like, pardon the pun, but I feel like I've gone out on a bit of a limb here. I can sometimes do that. I like more is more, embellishment, but sometimes I can go off on a tangent and it is a little ill-advised. Might not be to everyone's taste. It might not even be to my taste at the end of it, but I'm still going to do it. I like this gnarly kind of shape. I have felt it in my mouth. Oh, I like that. I like the way it happened there. Very natural. And I will pale it down just a little bit, but I don't want to put too many different colours in the tree trunk because I still want my leaves to stand out against it as a background. So I just want to get this little bit done so that you can see where I'm going to position his little house. Here he is, looking back over this way. This is the big gnarly tree. I think I'm going to continue this down a little bit and then kind of taper it off here. And then it's still going to, I don't want like too much darkness going down. So to a point that it looks like a tree trunk and not just a broken branch, if you know what I mean. And then I want to position his little house. Maybe I could put his little house here now. So just picture this first. A little bit of, tease that out a little bit more. And when you're wet felting, it's different. You would have to layer this up much more gently and not be as, it's a whole different ball game. But this is kind of more malleable. I like it. I like the wet felting too. We'll do that someday. But so there you go. That's going to be sort of how it is. I'll make it more kind of organic. I love it to kind of do its thing. It falls a certain way. And then I say, yeah, I like it like that. So maybe that's it. Maybe the way it is there. Now, back to the top so we can see the design. Here he is. He's looking back. It's going to have to be very high. It's definitely going to have to be either here, which is just a little bit too high for me. It's right under your neck. Here. It's a nice little nook here as well. I'm going to position his house here and then I can possibly add in a little bit of something behind to kind of cushion it. So this is the fun part. Let's do it. Here I have some of that lovely wool from the local sheep from a good friend of mine. I've already washed it. It smelled perfect, really, really clean. And it still has some of the bits of grass from the locality in it, which will probably be hidden, or I can pull them out as I see them. So there you go. I'm going to lay that on top there, just on top, so that you can, I'm going to make a little 2-story house. Add a little roof on it so he can see it in the distance. If I did another color, it would blend into the whole thing. And we can design it as we go along. It doesn't really have to be straight up. It's probably better if it's off to an angle. And I'm just going to go organically in a sort of a rectangle. A tall rectangle, a 2-story with windows and doors and a little roof. And we can pretty it up later with a nice coloured door. Decide what colour door we're going to put. Could be a little red door. Could be a little blue door, a little yellow door. We could have a little picket fence outside. Could be kind of cutie for the mousey. Give him a little imaginary perfection. Or we could just do a little wooden fence. That'll be kind of cute too. Pallets. He made it out of pallets, and why wouldn't you if you can? Except you have to keep renewing pallets because when the wood isn't treated, it kind of rots very quickly. Oh golly, I could keep going with this. Make a little garage, a little car, a little bicycle, some cows outside. Because this is far away, so we could do little cows here. That would be appropriate. So this is the little mouse house anyhow. So we'll do, that's the basis. I'm going to put a little bit more on. Let me see a little bit of, are you getting any views here? It's hard. It's hard shooting this on your own. If you've ever tried trying to make sure everything is in the picture, and you have to be aware of all those things. And when you're trying to be creative, that's hard to do. It's hard for me to do anyway. So now on again, another layer, because I could see the jumper through it still. Super quick. And it's dark outside already. I love this time of year. Absolutely love it. And I know many of you do as well. We're all kind of creative minds, so it kind of gets cozy, and it's a nice time to kind of stay inside and do your projects with no big demand. Because when it's sunny outside, you feel you ought to be out making the most of the weather. So I'll carry on with that now, and I'll show you in a moment. So as I was moving along with the little house, I got into it then, and I thought, let's make it a mushroom, not just a normal roof. It's still going to have windows and doors, but it's really a mushroom on a tree. Now, whether a mushroom like this grows on a tree, above a tree, I know mushrooms do, and I shall make more and more of that idea in the future. However, for the moment, this little mushroom, it's an imaginary mushroom obviously, and there's billions of them. I don't know, millions, or at least thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of mushrooms out there. Fungi to be with. And this is my one that I invented. Not inventing it now. See it now. So that is his little roof, and I will embellish that more and more. I'm going to put a little chimney on it, even though we are doing away with burning things, fossil fuels and that, but just for the story. I'll work on that now, and I have a little bit of time tomorrow with a coffee. But what I want to do is put on a little chimney pot, just a little one, because I'm excited about putting the smoke on, because I think that's kind of going to be quite animated, and I want it to be blowing off in that direction. So on you go, little chimney. Doesn't have to be huge, just has to kind of stick out a little bit from the rest. Yeah, that's kind of cute. Maybe a little bit more. Should it be the same color as the roof? I'm not sure. So I'm just doing it in grey, and the roof is kind of a little bit of a mix there of browns that I had for another project, the handbags for Pride Handmade. I'll just tap that in there, and then what I'm going to do is, I'll show you now before I go, little puffs of smoke coming out of the chimney like this. Let me see. It's hard, isn't it, with the bristle brush? But it is as it is. And I think it'll be more wispy the further away it gets. A couple of puffs of smoke there. And out here it's going to be, maybe that should be bigger, should it? Of course, I could have done a windy kind of one, but it's not going straight up. It has to go out to the side because that's the seam of the shoulder. So I'll just do it. I'm going to turn it sideways because you can see what I'm doing better. So there, the first few puffs of smoke are there. 1, 2, and then this one is going to be wispier, and I will let it, no, it has to go behind because this is more in the foreground. So that's okay. I can break it in two and do a wispy here. The way we do wispy is just do it far apart because it will, now there, that's kind of farther apart from, you know, it's not a little consolidated little bump like that. It's just more, it's lighter coat, put it like that. And I'll put this here as well because, you know, it doesn't stop just because that stops in the foreground. Anyone who does art is going to find this easier, but you just, anything that's far away goes behind. That'll keep that in line for you whether you do art or not. Now, so there, yeah. Now, obviously we'll lay it all down at the end, have a good look and see does anything need tweaking. Does that look like a little house on the hill? Let me see. Little mouse on his adventures. Looking back, that's a little bit sideways, but I think I might take that in a little bit and make it a slimmer mushroom. Just a little bit. Bring that down a bit. I'll tweak it. And I'll put a little door in there. I haven't decided the colour of the door. Will we do a green door? A green door? A purple door? Blue? I don't know what colour. I like all the colours. Should it be red? No. Yellow. Little yellow door? Not sure. If anyone has any idea what could go in there, you can make a suggestion. If it's a great idea, or if I think it will work, I can do it. I don't have any strong ideas right now. Blue door, no. It'll just look like another piece of that. Orange is the same. I've used so many colours now at this stage. But anyway, there you go. Isn't that kind of cutie? His house, far away in the woods. It's too big. That's my question. Is it too big? Maybe I could have the roof coming down a little bit more. That kind of might be cute. I'm going to break now and let you have an idea of what's going on besides. So now there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that. It's tricky for me to create a nice feeling for you while I'm trying to be imaginative and practical at the same time with the lighting and the positioning of everything and trying to make it interesting while going off in the head. And it's tricky. It's trickier on some days than on other days, but it's kind of sweet. I hope the little poem, I hope you kind of got the sense of where I'm going with it. The little mouse and his house. And I'm delighted it's going to be a mushroom. It seems more practical, but it's going to look like a little house with windows and a door and all of that. And yeah, so besides, I'm going to work away on him. I'm not going to bring him up as a new project too much more, except for when I have it pretty much finished. And I have a couple of other projects the same. I have the one with the stars and the bird's nest and that. I'd really like to work away on those in the background now. And there's another one I have. Okay, the blue one is done. Oh yes, I have another one ready to go. It's a Halloween one, but I didn't want to put it up before this one because I promised we'd do this. So this one I'll put up. I won't wait a week or anything. I'll pop the other one up pretty soon thereafter. And then I have the grey jumper to work on with the stars and the eggs. I have this one to work on. But next week, what I would like to do, if you remember, I did that bag, a tote bag a long time ago with a jumper. It was a felting project. And I cut off the arms and I said we'd use that for leg warmers for the winter. Now there's two options here. I can use them for leg warmers, or which I'm dying to do. And I'll probably knit a pair of leg warmers, but maybe that's deeper into the winter. So what I might do is I might use those for long gloves, kind of fingerless gloves. That would be perfect for that as well. So I'm kind of betwixt and between. I'll have to make a decision. And I think that's what I'll do. Sorry. That's what I'll do for next week. And that'll help me make a decision. After that, I'm considering making some videos about my gift collections for Parade Handmade, just to kind of show how the things are in the hand, what they look like on a person, all of that, how tactile they are, etc. It's a lot of work to do that, but it might be something interesting to do and kind of fun, and I would love to show some of the products on Parade Handmade. So there you have it. That's the kind of thoughts I have. Nothing is written in stone. Nothing is concrete. But I hope you enjoyed it. And like and subscribe if you'd like some more. Let me know what colour you think Mr. Mouse's door should be. And he's the little adventurer. And do you know something? I think we better decide a name for him. So if anyone has a good name, that could be a thing as well. And good luck with your projects, whatever you're doing yourself, because I know a lot of you are doing projects galore, related or unrelated, just all different kinds of creative projects. So I wish you luck with those, and that you get through them and that you enjoy them and enjoy the change in the weather. See you next week. Thanks for watching.